I'll be summarising the arguments for our side, and the main things we believe that show that socialism isn't dead are that European governments have bailed out their banks, they've bailed out countries together, and there is still socialist government in Europe. Okay. Right. In conclusion, our arguments show that socialism is not dead because, as stated before, the European governments have bailed out their banks. For example, you just need to look at the stakes that the UK government has in banks such as the Royal Bank of Scotland and Lloyds TSB. These principles that conservative and capitalism believe that free market is not what exists in today's society, because in effect they have control over these banks, and although they haven't chosen to completely use their effects, they have put pressure. And as a result, these actions show a clear sign that although governments may not in name be capitalist, their actions show many features of socialism. And also, socialism is not just about whether governments are socialist, it's whether the people are socialist and whether they believe in the socialist aspect. Also, European countries have joined together to bail each other out. For example, you just need to look at Cyprus, Greece and Spain. In the past, these countries would not have joined together to help their other countries alongside them.
They helped them because they didn't help them, they'd be affected themselves.
Yeah,
in the Eurozone.
Yeah, but those countries chose to be in the Eurozone. They could have decided to. The EU, they chose to be in the EU, and they chose to work together as countries, not just by themselves. So they realised that at some point it's not just working by themselves, it's not about individualism. Yeah. So rich countries such as Germany have to bail out these countries, when in fact it goes against the principles of a conservative and a capitalist ideology, where they believe in individualism and that you help yourself and you don't help other people. Also, socialist principles are starting to affect the way people think and the way they vote. You just need to look at the recently elected president of France. He's the first socialist president since 1995. Yeah. Right, okay. And yeah, from what he proposes, the austerity measures that are in Europe are starting to change, and even Germany believe that their austerity measures that they have given people are a bit tight and not, well, like, they have to reduce them. Yeah, his election is not an isolated incident, as people are turning to socialist alternatives because they don't believe that the current alternatives that are working, the ones that are in place, such as capitalism, is not giving them anything, is not giving them what they vote for. As said by my previous side, socialism is something that does exist but needs to be further explored and discovered, not just by governments but by society, before people can say that it has failed. Because you don't even know what it is, because it hasn't been that explored. Yeah. Right. In conclusion, socialism is not dead, capitalism is what is dead. And with the new economic circumstances, many people are looking to different alternatives to capitalism. We live in a reformed view of socialism, where we try to get good aspects of other ideologies and combine them into what we believe socialism is. And for example, the means to get the way to distribute the health may come from capitalism, but if it works with socialism, why not use it? If it betters people, why put it by itself? Also, socialism isn't just whether governments are left-wing or right-wing, it's about social justice and economies and distribution of wealth. It's about bringing people together so that the choices that are made and the outcomes are fair for all and not just one part of society, such as the rich, which is what capitalism does. So our house believes that socialism is not in fact dead but needs to be further explored.